Well, good morning, folks. Welcome back to another Scuttlebutt with Ivy's Family Factotum. A little early this morning. Yeah, woken up to a round of thunder coming through. So, of course, we only have, there's like 20% or 30% chance of rain. Well, I guess we ended up getting 100% because it rained. I'm gonna come out here since I'm awake, and I know Gladys woke up, but she chose to stay in bed. I chose to get up to get some coffee. Come let out Miss Giggles. Y'all are gonna have to wait to eat though. It's still a little early. I know. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, got also let out. Oh, good morning, Brittany and Tiffany. I hear you. I hear you. Yep, he's smacking at the door. Hey. Morning, Barbie. Really? She's like, I want out of here. So she's still a little moody, so she no longer has eggs, right? But she's still broody. So until she breaks from that, she's not going back with the rest. So we'll give her a couple more days, see how she does. She's getting better though. So thwarted by rain once again. It didn't really rain a whole lot. It was just more of like a sprinkle. You know, just enough to keep the ground wet. I know, that's one of the reasons why. Because I did not pick up concrete the other day when I said I was going to pick up concrete for the fence. But, what? I'm not going nowhere. But Gladys does have another appointment today. She was feeling a little better yesterday. Still very sore. So just, yeah, wasn't doing all that. And then also for that lawnmower there, I ended up getting the part that I needed. Is the this part here. So it's that the blade attaches to. The piece of that broke off. You know, that little flower part that's on the bottom. So got the new one. So the new one is now on. I just need to get another blade. I thought I had one. I knew the one, and I'm hoping the shaft of that thing is not busted because Gladys was the last one who used it, and she hit a rock, a pretty significant rock. It almost bent the blade, one side of the blade, almost like a complete 90 degrees. And then the engine stopped like immediately. It sheared off all of the teeth, right, of that flower part that holds the blade, and and I haven't tested it to see if it bent the shaft of the engine. So fingers crossed. I do have, you know, the proper tools required if I needed to, you know, mic it out, right? I do know where it's at. That's half the battle, right? Is knowing that I have the tool, but also knowing where it is. And but who knows? We'll see. I think I mean, just by turning it by hand, you can see if there's any major, and I didn't really see any major, but even the smallest little wiggle can cause a vibration. But I think if it's small enough that I might be able to, offset, because you can kind of offset. Obviously, you want your blade, right, to be balanced and such, but if there's I don't know, I'll figure it out. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself because, I'll throw a blade on there, I'll start it, I'll see what it does. And whenever that happens, I'll bring you all along. Because like I said, we're going to the store today to pick up. So we need to get some garden soil for the raised garden boxes. That way, because we have stuff growing. Mom did some starts up here, and then Gladys has some starts in the back. And there's stuff that's ready to be transplanted, into an actual garden bed. So we're going to go grab, we have everything we need except for the actual garden soil, right? And, they have mixes that are pre-made for, garden beds, and that's what we're going to do. We only need, it's 7 bags, like they're two cubic feet per bag. And we need 7 bags. I mean, they're like $3 a bag, so it'll be fine. And then obviously getting the concrete so I can go ahead and start putting the post in for the fence. With rain, right? That I can walk over there and probably look into that hole that I've been showing y'all, and it's still going to be completely full of water of where it's been. Like, groundwater has not went down at all. And a lot of times I can tell where groundwater is based off the pond, right? Because the pond will fluctuate. It'll go up and down. And that's pretty much where groundwater is sitting for the most part. And yeah, and sure enough, looking at the lay of the land and stuff, it is what it is, So all those posts, just about every single post that I'm putting in is going to need, rocks and or concrete or both. And to be able to get a load of rocks, I'm better off, getting just a few bags of concrete at a time for now until I can come up with, because that's a load of rocks is a much bigger expense. So, I'll go and get, 60-pound bags. I mean, even doing the 80-pound bags, but if I do the 80-pound bags, for one, it's heavier, having to deal with that. And then normally those I split in half. I only do half a bag. But I prefer just to do one bag of the 60-pound, because then you're getting 20 more than 40, right? And then, so it's one bag per post. And then for the most part, even like some of the smaller posts, because we're not putting anything big in here, y'all. We're getting a couple, like Dad's trying to bring some pigs. He has a friend that has potbelly pigs, and he's able to get them for free. So, but if he's going to have an issue doing a transport, it really all depends, because if he's able to not transport the smaller pigs, then he would just end up bringing back one of the females that's already pregnant, that they know is already pregnant, and that they'd only be bringing the one back, and then we would just have the piglets, right? So we'll kind of see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. But, and then, we're also going to look into getting a couple of the sheep, which we'll get those here locally. We'd already planned on that and such, but that will be later. And then, yes, at some point, and I know folks are like, because we'd already talked about, the cow thing, how Gladys wants a Highland, right? She wants a miniature Highland. And I would not mind having a milking cow, but right, this area that we are at, right, so from the house, because the house is right up against the ridge, right, so you can kind of see basically right on the other side of the driveway, it starts going up the hill. And it's pretty steep climb. I mean, from the driveway to the top of the hill is like a 200-foot elevation change. You know, and we've walked up the hill before, right? So, but from the driveway out to the road, so all of this area right here is only about 6 acres, right? And then it's divided by the creek. So with that, we only have this one little paddock that, you know, is going to be fenced. Nothing else. I mean, there used to be old fences, and there's still like somewhat of a fence by the main road, but it's horrible, right? It needs to be replaced, and because it's all barbed wire that's all completely rusted, fallen down. A lot of posts are all gone. So nothing that's going to be holding in any cattle, right? So to be able to have animals, you know, and it just all depends, because this area up here is where my mom is planning on doing something, which, yeah, sure, we can go ahead and, you know, extend this paddock to go all the way, you know, past the creek and all the way to the front, and have a much bigger area, and just let the animals clear it out, you know, until she's ready. And that's definitely something that could be done. But as of right now, we need to, like, any animals that we get, we need to train to a hot wire, because I want to just be able to get the hot wires and just put a single strand of hot wire, like in an area like that, right? And then bring the sheep over, or bring the pigs over, or bring a cow over, right? And be able to put them in there, and then they're only there, you know, for the day, and then bringing them back to the main paddock at night, right? That's kind of the goal, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, yeah, at some point we would love to be able to re-fence our entire property. You know, we would still love to be able to do work up on top of the ridge, you know, even putting animals up there, whatever. You know, goats are fine with that, or not goats, but the sheep are fine with that, and such. But it all takes time. Right? Fencing is not cheap. Electric fencing is not cheap. All this stuff, right? And we're on a retired military budget. So whoever says you're going to get rich doing YouTube, yeah, it's it all depends on the niche, I guess. All depends on the niche, because for the homesteaders, how many homesteading channels do you know have over 1 million subscribers? You can probably count on one hand, right? You can probably count on one hand. Well, you know, those folks is still not going to be rich by any means, right? There's other ways of making money on YouTube. I get it, and we're getting there. We're getting there, right? We're doing our thing. So still got a lot to do, and I'm not in any rush. That's it. That's all I got. I was just gonna come do a quick walk around, just take a look, see how much I need to mow is the biggest thing, and taking care. So everything that we have cleared right now is roughly a little over 3 acres, I'd say, give or take 2 acres, in between 2 to 3 acres worth of somewhat mowable, right? There's still going to be stumps, there's still going to be debris, there's still going to be junk that we kind of have to go around, so I don't do 100% of it, right? But we're taking care of this stuff with push mowers, weed whackers. So it grows up like this, and then I just let it grow, and then it's not thick. Most of it's weeds. And then, it's obviously stuff, like in this one, is much, much taller. much, much, much taller. And then I'm not worried about cutting that stuff. So just the areas, and then obviously where I'm walking to eventually is going to be a road. So I'm not even really worried about this either. All right, well, y'all be good. Anybody that's going to Mid-America Meetup over at Eufaula Lake in Oklahoma this weekend, we'll see you there. We plan on going Saturday. We're just going to do the day thing. And yeah, that's it. So get out there, thank a veteran with every chance you get. Not only on Veterans Day. Stay dry. Take your time. Just enjoy the journey. All right, y'all. We'll see you on the next one. Later, y'all.